So from today, we'll be starting the level 2. So what we are going to cover in level 2, what all topics we are going to take in this level 2, everything we'll see today. And we'll see one topic also today. We'll start with that. So let me quickly share my screen. Fine. In this level 2, what we are going to say is, as we already discussed, what we saw in level 1, we saw enterprise structure, we saw master data, we saw P2P cycle, all those things. Before these all get started, first, how the project is going to come to the business. So, as I mentioned, there are only limited companies which are giving the SAP implementation support. And there are limited companies which are the partners of SAP who are authorized to implement the SAP into the business. So, whenever a company wants to, whenever a business wants to implement SAP, what is the step they're going to take? Okay, that part, and how they are approaching to the companies, and how the bidding happens, and how the proposal gets created, and what is the as-is process, what is how we are going to convert the business process into to-be process. Okay, and what all, for example, if one business is using one of the process, if that process is suitable for SAP or not, everything we are going to discuss in this level 2. So first thing what we are going to discuss is, what are the types of project we have in SAP? So whenever we say we're implementing SAP, we are not just implementing SAP. There are a lot of types of information, or there are different types of projects where we can implement SAP. So we'll see what are the types of project there. There will be a small project, there will be a big project, and how we are going to convert the SAP. And that comes into picture whenever we say types of project. Okay. And then we are going to speak regarding the implementation team, how the implementation team is going to build. We are not going to hire any of the consultants until we have a project. So as soon as the project comes to the business, then they will start to build a team. So how they are going to build the team. And then we are going to see what are the phases of implementation. So implementation will not happen within a single phase. There are multiple phases. There are nearly 6 phases where the business is going to discuss with the implementation partner and analyze what is going to happen in the project, what is going to happen in the implementation, how they are going to implement, and in how many days they are going to implement. All those will get discussed in these phases. So there are different phases. For example, we have discover phase, where we are going to just discuss what is going to happen and what is a future plan. Then there is a prepare phase, where we are going to prepare the documents to start the implementation. Then we have explore phase, where we are going to define the system, what is going to happen in the system, what is not going to happen in the system. Then we have realization phase, where we are going to start implementing the SAP into the business. Then we have the cutover phase, where we are going to upload all the data. Then we have the run phase. So they will go live. So those are the phases. We go deeper. For each and every phase, we have a session. So I'll be taking that part there. Then we have a real-time project example. So we are going to take one project as an example and explain how this project is going to get converted to SAP. So how that project works in as-is. For example, now they are using Oracle. So first we are going to explain how the project was in Oracle, and when it converted to SAP, how it worked in SAP. Okay, that will give you a real-time experience. So you will feel that you worked in a project, and you'll be much confident when you give interview that you have really worked in an implementation project. Okay. Then we are going to see what are the challenges we face in implementation project. Because when we are working in implementation project, we may face so many challenges. So we are going to see what are the challenges we face. Then we have the interface. Interface is nothing but, for example, you have SAP and vendor has other system like Oracle or Microsoft Dynamics. So when you want to interlink both softwares, then we call it as an interface. So how that is going to happen? And for example, now you use SAP and even vendor use SAP. You want to link those both systems so that whatever you create, you can send directly to the vendor without email, without fax, all those things. So how you are going to build that? That is called interface. Whenever we say interface, interface is nothing but connecting one system with the other system. Okay. Then we have a support project. This is one of the types of project. So here support project is nothing but we have already done the implementation of the business and they are working into SAP. And whenever they face any issue in SAP, they are going to raise a ticket to the consultant. So consultant is going to work on the ticket and resolve the issue. So that is called support project. Then we are going to build your CV. Okay, you are going to build your CV. I'll review it. Then if everything is fine, we are going to upload it in the portals. Okay, then we are going to have an interview preparation session and the resume building session. Okay, then we will have a job hunt mastery saying that how to get the job in, how to get the job in LinkedIn, how to post your resume in LinkedIn, and how to get calls from LinkedIn, all those things. So this level 2 will mostly concentrate on what is going to happen prior to the implementation project. Main focus is to see what is the prior, what we see in implementation project. Okay, then we are going to see your profile building, you are going to see your interview preparation, then we are going to discuss how you get the job in this field. So all this we are going to cover in this level 2. Okay, so this is the overview of level 2, what we are going to see. So if you have any questions, so let me take those and then start with the topic of project types today. Okay.
Good morning, Venkatesh. Navid here.
Yeah, Navid.
Venkatesh, well,
Navid, your voice is breaking. I can't hear you properly.
am I audible now?
Yeah, better.
My question is, are we going to see any RPA types as well? Robotic process automations in SAP?
No.
Okay. So, I mean, nowadays there is every company is trying to implement as much as RPA processes in the already in process operations. So since you are working in real time, can you just highlight us these are the RPA are going on in SAP as well, so that just we can just have an overview about it.
In SAP, that depends on business to business. Every business does not want RPM now. So what is the reason is if they start doing that, the employment may go. So that is the reason they are not doing it right now. So first, as a business is implementing SAP, they are not going directly to start RPM. So they will implement the SAP first because that is the new tool to them. So they need to work on that and get hands-on experience. So that is the reason in implementation, you will not have that. Mostly after implementation go live, after 1 or 2 years, they may start doing that.
No, I mean for the companies who are already using SAP and they want to apply some automations, like for example, in our company, they are planning to implement automation in PO creation process. Like currently, buyer creates PO manually, so they are trying to find a way where buyer not need to create PO manually; it should get punched automatically.
Yeah,
So
PO will not get created automatically for sure. For if you see your business will, whenever your business says to create a PO automatically, the project what they are going to take over will get failed for sure. Because this is already tried by everyone. And because of this, the end user may lose his effort or his job. Right? If PO is getting created automatically, then what is the job of end user?
ultimately, they will just try to eliminate this one step from the
Creating,
P2P cycle.
okay, you say creating a PO automatically.
Yes.
Why should I do an automate? I have a standard to automate a PO, right?
Sorry.
I have a standard method in SAP to automate the PO creation. Why should I do an automation there?
Okay, there is any already in there
Yeah,
is a
if
provision in SAP to create P automatically.
yes, there is an automatically a transaction called ME59N where
Okay.
you can convert the PRs into PO automatically when you have the PIR in source list maintained.
Okay. I will just go
So,
through this project once again and see what they are going to do. So I will just come back to you about it
yeah.
so that we can have an idea as a whole.
Hi Venkatesh, Akanksha here.
Yeah, Akansha.
So you have explained about the implementation and support. So are we going to discuss anything related to rollout projects?
Yes, that I'll cover today itself. So that is a
Oh,
part of types of project I'll cover today itself.
okay.
Hello,
Yeah, brother.
Venkatesh, are we going to take any demo project for these types of project?
Yeah, that is what real-time project. So we are going to take one project and explain this.
Fully implementation.
Yeah, that's what you're doing right now. So I asked
Uh,
pick one industry and start creating the enterprise structure based on that, right? So you will be working into an implementation project or for a specific business or specific industry. This level two will mostly concentrate what is going to happen before implementation. So you already started working in a real time in the level one.
okay.
Hi, sir. I agree with Naveed that in our organization also they have implemented the PO automation part. So in coming 2 weeks we will be getting briefing on that. So once we get some briefing on that, uh, like we will get to know that how it will be like a PO will be getting automated. So I need to just discuss that point also in this second phase, like level 2 part.
Yeah, if anything is getting automated, so SAP is not getting changed. You need to
Okay.
understand that part.
Mhm.
So to automate, there are some tools, there are bots, and there is an VBA. So for example, you want to pull a report and extract that report from SAP and share it to your colleagues. That is not possible in SAP. So what they do, they involve the VBA into the SAP. So the interface VBA with SAP, and then extract the data from there and give it to the employees. So SAP does not have any automation tools.
Mhm.
Automation tools are from outside, and those are getting integrated with the SAP. That part will come in interfaces.
Sir, can we see any background jobs part of learning here?
Background jobs, I'll show how to create, but I cannot run and show you how the background job created. Will
Okay.
run.
Okay.
I'll show how it gets created.
Yeah. Can we see like how can we monitor those things?
Monitor,
Like in.
that's what I said in demo
Mhm.
system. We will not be able to run the scheduled job. So
Mhm.
scheduled job, I'll show how to create it, but we cannot
Mhm.
run the scheduled job in the demo system.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions? Fine. If no questions, then let me move forward. So as I said, today I'll be starting with the types of project. So what are the types of project? So to implement SAP, there are so many types. First, we will go through what are those. Before that, let me go through what is the path to S/4HANA. For example, now you have business. That business is already using ECC. Let me take in other way. One second, let me reshare my screen. Okay, for example, let me take in this way. So business, there are two scenarios. In one scenario, business is using another ERP. So first, what is ERP? You all know what is ERP. ERP is nothing but enterprise resource planning. So enterprise is nothing but a company. When company wants some resource, to do that planning, they use the ERP. Under ERP, you have so many. So we have SAP, we have Oracle, we have Tally, we have Microsoft Dynamics. So all these are ERP. So we are focused on SAP. So the full form of SAP will be System Application Programming. Okay, so take an example. In one business, they are using Oracle and they want to convert this Oracle into SAP. So business is already using Oracle and they want to convert SAP. This is one scenario. Scenario one. Okay. The other business, this is business A and this is business B. In business B, they are already using SAP, but they are using SAP ECC. Now they want to upgrade their system and convert their system into SAP S/4HANA. This is scenario 2. So both comes under implementation project. So scenario 1, they want to implement the system from Oracle to SAP. In scenario 2, this business wants to implement SAP S/4HANA from SAP ECC. Okay, these are the two scenarios. Majorly what is coming into picture in the implementation. Whenever a business wants to do an implementation of SAP, in most of the scenarios, they want to convert from other ERP to SAP, scenario 1, and they want to convert ECC to S/4HANA. This is scenario 2. Okay, why we have these two scenarios now? For example, they don't know SAP, they want to implement SAP. They already know what is SAP, but ECC is outdated. They want to implement SAP S/4HANA. Okay, in that case, here we have, whenever we say from ECC to S/4HANA, we have steps to convert. So what is this? So first, there are 3 steps to convert ECC to S/4HANA. You can directly start converting ECC to S/4HANA. That is one thing. You can directly go ahead. If business is not ready to go directly to S/4HANA because they are used to work in ECC, then what they do, they just change the database. So as I discussed, the difference between SAP ECC and S/4HANA is the database. So previously in ECC, SAP used to use third-party database from IBM. So they did not have their own database. So they started using IBM's database, the third-party database. Okay. In ECC, the database which is used was third-party. You know what is database? Database is nothing but the storage where you're storing all the data. It can take it as a server. Whatever you do in SAP system, everything is getting saved in server, so that whenever all the data get crashed in SAP also, you can pull a backup of the data from the server. So now we guys are using demo system. Even our demo system have a database, or our demo system has a server. So what all we create are going to save the server. So in this batch, there are nearly 50 students. Everyone are creating their enterprise structures, their data. So there is a huge data. So that data is getting saved in the server. If our demo system gets crashed also, we can take a backup of complete data what is getting created. So that is the database. Okay. So before in ECC, SAP used to use the third-party database, which is from IBM. Okay. Because the database is huge, costly. They cannot invest so much of amount as of now. They was using a third-party database. When it comes to S/4HANA, they created or they invented their new database called HANA. They created new database called HANA and they named it as an HANA. HANA is nothing but a database. Okay, the main difference between ECC and S/4HANA is the database. So in ECC, they did not have their own database. In S/4HANA, they have their own database called HANA. Okay, now, whenever we say we are converting from SAP ECC to S/4HANA, so you already have SAP in this business. So you will have the enterprise structure, you will have the master data, you will have the P2P cycle, you will have the inventory management. What all you see as for HANA, everything will be available in ECC also. So whatever you want to create in S/4HANA is already available in ECC. You can just take a copy of that and paste it in the S/4HANA system. This is a small implementation. This is a small implementation. But there are some huge differences between ECC and S/4HANA. For example, if you see in ECC, we had vendor, we had customer, we had employee separately. But in S/4HANA, we have a common section called business partner. So business partner was not in scope in ECC. In S/4HANA, we have business partner. So first we need to create the business partner, then we need to create the vendors. So this is a small project. This is an easy project, but we have the pros and cons. So considering these pros and cons, what they did, the business is a little bit afraid to directly convert from ECC to S/4HANA. They don't want to convert directly from ECC to S/4HANA. So there are some steps. There are one step. There are types of conversion. One step is nothing but from ECC to S/4HANA directly. You can directly convert. It takes time. The second one is two-step. Two-step is nothing but, first what you do, you don't implement S/4HANA, you will just implement the database. In the same ECC, you will remove the database of third party and install the HANA database. You are just replacing the database. That is called two-step. So first from ECC, you will go to Suite on HANA, then you will convert to S/4HANA. So whenever you are just replacing the database from ECC to HANA, that is called as a Suite on HANA. These terminologies are very important. whenever you are just changing the database in ECC, that is called as an suit on HANA. Okay, let me write it here, suit on HANA. Okay, then after you are comfortable with the database is now changed to ECC, and then you will start the implementation of S/4HANA. Then you have the 3-step where you are just converting from ECC to simple finance first. Okay, then you are converting it to suit on HANA, then you are converting it to S/4HANA. So what is simple finance? So finance is the higher hierarchy module, because without finance we will not be able to implement the SAP. So when we start implementing the SAP ECC to S/4HANA, they are directly converting all the modules. So if business is not comfortable doing that, they can start only with the finance module, that is nothing but the FICO module. They can just convert the SAP from ECC to S/4HANA using a FICO module first. If FICO module is success, if everything is working fine, then they can start with the other modules. Okay, these are the steps to convert ECC to S4. In scenario 1, when you don't have SAP, you want to implement SAP, you have only one step. You are directly converting it from Oracle to SAP S/4HANA. But when it comes for SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA, you have 3 sections. One is one step where you can directly convert ECC to S/4HANA. You have 2 steps where you are just changing the database first, and you will use the database. And if you are comfortable, then you will change the ECC to S/4HANA. Then you have the 3-step where you first create your simple finance module. That is nothing but the FICO module. If everything is working fine in the FICO module, then you will change the database and you will work for some days, and then you will start converting the S/4HANA. So these are the steps. Here I have mentioned clearly saying that from ECC, you can go to suit on HANA first. If suit on HANA is working fine, if everything is okay, the database is fine, then you are going to directly convert to S/4HANA. This is 3-step. Then you have the other method also. From ECC, you can first replace the database, that is suit on HANA. Then you can create the simple finance first. You can work on the finance module, and then you can go with the S/4HANA. Okay, or this is 3-step. The first, what I have mentioned is 3-step. First, from ECC to suit on HANA, from suit on HANA to simple finance, and simple finance to S/4HANA. Okay, then you have ECC to suit on HANA. You are just replacing the database. Then you are directly going to S/4HANA. If not, ECC can be first converted to simple finance and then directly to S/4HANA. That is 2-step, and 1 step is ECC to directly S/4HANA. Okay, these are the path. First, business needs to decide how they want to implement their SAP. If they are comfortable, if they are confident moving into directly S/4HANA, they can go for 1 step. If they are not confident, then they can create the simple finance first. If finance module is working fine, then they can go for other modules. And if they are still not confident, then they can just change the database, and then they can wait and work with the simple finance and get converted to S/4HANA. Okay, in most of the cases, they are not going to directly convert from ECC to S/4HANA, what I have seen. They will go for the simple finance, or they will go for the suit on HANA, and then they will convert to S/4HANA. Okay, so what are the reasons they choose 2-step? So 2-step is nothing but, as I said, suit on HANA, simple finance, and S4HANA. So choice of innovation. So what is choice of innovation? Whenever this conversion is happening step by step, you are not directly going to climb the 5th step. You are going to climb step by step. The first step will be Suite on HANA. Second step will be Simple Finance. Third step will be the S4 HANA. Okay, so you will have some time to understand what is Simple Finance, what is S4 HANA, and what are the innovations we can do in S4 HANA. For example, you are doing a process in ECC that needs to get converted to S4 HANA, but that process is obsoleted in S4 HANA. Then how you're going to convert that? So all those innovation, you will have some time to build the innovation. Okay. Then you have HANA and S4 HANA, both are new to the business. So they need some time to opt that. Okay. And the budget. If you're going with Suite on HANA, they will feel that to just replace the database, they are charging less. Okay. And post 6 months, they will invest again on Simple Finance. After 6 months, they will invest on S4 HANA. When they come to one step, they want to invest directly a huge amount into the S4 HANA. So budget constraint. Okay. Then you have the business impact. If you're directly converting ECC to S4 HANA, you need to assign a dedicated team or dedicated SMEs to the implementation team so that they want to discuss with the process and then convert. So they want to hire a new manpower for the implementation team. So that impact will not happen if you're doing 2-step. If you're doing 1 step, that should happen immediately. If you're doing 2-step, you can do it slowly. So that is the path of S4 HANA, how you want to create S4 HANA into the business. So if it is other ERP to SAP, then you are going to directly create it. If it is from SAP ECC to S4 HANA, then you have this path. Okay. Now we had 2 scenarios. We had Oracle to SAP and ECC to SAP S4 HANA. Whenever we say Oracle to SAP S4 HANA, so that is called as a greenfield implementation. When the business does not know what is SAP and we are introducing SAP to them, that is called as a greenfield implementation. So in greenfield implementation, we are completely going with the scratch implementation. Scratch is nothing but from the bottom line. We are going to start the implementation from the bottom line. So what we are going to see in the greenfield implementation. In the greenfield implementation, let me explain that here will be better. So let me take first in types of project, you have first type is the greenfield implementation. Greenfield implementation is nothing but whenever the business does not have SAP, they are using some Microsoft Dynamics and they want to implement SAP in their business. Then to convert their system into Microsoft Dynamics to SAP, that is called as a greenfield implementation. Okay, in greenfield implementation, you are going to start the implementation or the configuration from the scratch. You will not have anything in the system. So Microsoft Dynamics will also have an enterprise structure. Their enterprise structure will look different. So keeping this enterprise structure as a reference, we are going to create a new enterprise structure. Create new. Okay, they will also have a master data. We are going to create new. They will also have a P2P cycle which they are following, but we are going to create new. So whenever I say greenfield implementation, everything is getting created newly. We are just keeping this as a reference. Okay, Greenfield is nothing but we are going to build a system from the scratch. They don't know what is SAP. We are introducing what is SAP to them. And what all we have in the legacy system, we call this Microsoft Dynamics system as a legacy system. This is very important. So whatever we have in the legacy system, we are going to keep that as a reference, and we are going to create everything new in the SAP system. For enterprise structure, we are going to create it newly. The complete master data, the materials, vendors, customers, employees, and the purchase info record, the list, the service master, all those things you are going to create newly. Okay, whenever you say we are going to start from scratch, we are going to create everything new, then it is called as a greenfield implementation. Okay, then we have the second type of project, which is conversion. This is the second type of project, which is conversion project. So whenever we see conversion project, here we are going to convert an ECC system to S/4HANA system. Okay, here your ECC will be your legacy system. Your S/4 system will be your on-roll system. Okay, so in conversion project, you are going to convert the system from ECC to S/4HANA. In the greenfield implementation, you are going to introduce SAP to them, so they'll be using another third-party legacy system or an ERP called Microsoft Dynamics. So you are going to create SAP into their business. Everything is getting created new. Whenever we say conversion project, we are going to convert the ECC system into S/4HANA system. Here, most of the cases, we are going to copy everything. We are going to copy everything. We are going to copy the enterprise structure. Enterprise structure will already have it in a legacy system. We will already have it in ECC system. We will directly copy it to the S/4 system. Okay, if we are not copying also, we are going to see this and we are going to create as it is in the S/4 system. We are going to replicate what is available in ECC system. Even the master data, we are going to directly copy the master data. So here, everything is getting copied. We are not going to create anything new. Okay, that is the main difference between greenfield implementation and the conversion project. So greenfield implementation, you are doing everything new from the scratch. Whatever you are doing right now in the level 1, you are going to create the enterprise structure, you are going to create the master data, all those things you are going to create it in from the scratch. That is greenfield implementation. So when we say conversion project, we are just copying the data from the existing system, that is ECC, to the S/4HANA system. Okay, you will already have a copy of it here. You are just replicating that into an S/4HANA. Okay, and whenever we have some data here in greenfield implementation, if you want master data to see how many materials are there in the Microsoft Dynamics, you are going to get the data in the Excel. But here in the master data, you can analyze what all the materials we have in the ECC, and you can directly transfer the material also from ECC to S/4HANA. So this is a small project and simple project. This is a complicated project. Because we are doing everything from scratch, this will take a huge time. It will take a huge time. This is from the scratch. This is complicated. Okay. So coming to this Greenfield, disadvantages and advantages. When we say conversion project, this consider less time. This is most complicated. This is more complicated than the Greenfield implementation. I'll explain how it is more complicated. And here we are not going to create from scratch. Okay, here everything is getting created newly. Here everything is getting copied. Now, before I speak why it is more complicated in conversion, first we need to speak regarding what are the differences between ECC and S/4HANA. Let me speak that and come back. So, differences. So what are the differences between ECC and S/4HANA? So the first difference, can anyone tell what is the first difference? I have mentioned some differences when I taught you in level 1. So at least 1 or 2. In conversion project will be created, yes. So first thing. First difference is S/4HANA can run either in cloud or on premises. Before, when we want to implement SAP ECC, you need to go to the client location, work from the client location. We should go for the on-site and work. But now in SAP S/4HANA, you have a feasibility to work from the home also. You can just connect to the client VPN and you can work from the remote also. So that is the major difference which came into picture from SAP S/4HANA to ECC. S/4HANA can run either in cloud or on premises, but ECC can run only on the on premises. Okay. Second difference, you all know, SAP S/4HANA has its own database, but ECC did not have its own database. This is the second difference. Okay. The third difference. In S/4HANA, you have an application view called Fury, where it is very helpful for analytics. But in ECC, you did not have that option of analytics. Okay. Then in S/4HANA, the database table got converted to the column based. Before in ECC, it was row based. In ECC, it was row based. So what is this row based and column based? So here, think that you have a data. This is your header and this is your data. So here, what system, whenever you search the information in SAP, system used to search first in the row based. It was searching in this way. So if you want to search a material number called 101, so it will search from here, start from here, here, then this. Okay. Take an example in a column in an Excel. You have, this is a material number. This is a description. This is a base unit of measure. So in a ECC system, first, if you want to search this material number, it uses search this box first. Then it used to go for the description. Then it used to go for the base unit of measure, then it will take more time. So it is checking all the rows. So what SAP S/4HANA did, it created a column-based search. So what happens, it will just search the material number column only. It will not search the remaining columns or the rows. So that is the column-based. So database table has been converted to the column-based, and they created an index. So first you check what is the index, what is the header. If I want to check the material number, I want to check only the material number column. In ECC, that was not possible. Okay, then most of the tables got collaborated in S/4HANA. So in S/4HANA, tables got reduced. Okay. Then, as you said, in S/4HANA, you have business partner. In ECC, you don't have business partner. Okay. Then in S/4HANA, material ledger became mandatory. In ECC, the material ledger was not mandatory. Okay. Then material length got 40 characters. Okay. So these are the major differences. So now here, what is going to impact in the conversion project? So what is going to impact in the conversion project? This point is going to impact, this point is going to get impacted, this point and this point. Whenever I say from ECC to S/4HANA, most of the tables are getting reduced. Then in ECC, I have the table. I have the data in the table. But when I come to S/4HANA, I don't have that table. Table is nothing but, for example, you have computer. Computer does not understand any language. It understands only the binary language, which is 0 and 1. So that data is going to store in the format of 0 and 1. In the same way, in SAP S/4HANA, you have the tables and fields. So whatever you create, that is going and falling under an Excel sheet. This Excel is considered as a table. Okay, whatever you create, that is going to fall under this table, and it is going to store. For each and every information, there is a table in SAP. But now I said in S/4HANA, tables got reduced. So think that you have some MSEG table in ECC. Think that this table is collapsed in S/4HANA. You don't have it in S/4HANA. Then how you are going to transfer, or how you are going to copy the complete data from MSEG to the S/4HANA? That is not possible. So that is the complication. That is a problem and concern when you are doing a conversion project. So this part cannot be converted from ECC to S/4HANA. Then you need to do some additional work here. So you need to take the data from ECC into a dump into an Excel, work on the Excel, then convert that data into a new table which is created in the S/4HANA, then upload it. Okay, that is a major concern. Second thing, you have business partner in S/4HANA, you don't have business partner in ECC. When you're doing a conversion project, you cannot directly copy the vendor, customer, or employee and directly put it in the S/4HANA. First, you want to create the business partner. Under business partner, you need to have all those things. Right? And there are new fields invented in the S/4HANA in the business partner. Those needs to be filled. So that is one of the complication. And in ECC, you did not have the material ledger. In S/4HANA, you have the material ledger. Without activating the material ledger, you will not be able to sell or buy the material. Okay, these are the complications. So based on this complication, your conversion project, it is small. I understand it is small. It can happen in a short period, But you need to consider all these cases. So what happens in Greenfield implementation, you are going to create everything newly. So that problem you will not face. Here you are not directly copying the vendors. You are creating the business partner, then you're creating the vendor here, everything happening newly. As you're copying it here, first you need to get the data as per the S4HANA system. So ECC data will be different, S4HANA data will be different. So ECC template will be different, S4HANA template will be different. Whenever you get the data from ECC, so that ECC data needs to be converted to S4 data and then upload. So in conversion project, you will be mostly working into Excel. For example, to complete one Greenfield implementation, normally it takes 1.5 years. To do one conversion project, it takes nearly 1 year. But in this 1 year also, 6 to 7 months, you will be working in Excel. You will not be working in the SAP system. You will be working with the Excel to prepare the data. That is the most complicated thing. And if the data is not created properly in the Excels, the data, what you are uploading will get crashed. Again, you need to work on the Excel again. So think that for 2 months you're working in Excel and uploading the data is not getting reflected properly in the S4 system. Then again, you need to go back to the Excel and work on the Excel and come back. So here, if there is an issue, there is no issue in the SAP system. There is an issue with the Excel data, what you're going to prepare. So that is the conversion project. So we saw what is Greenfield implementation, what is conversion. Now we already saw what is Greenfield implementation comparing to the conversion. Okay. So we completed these 3 sections. Then we have the hybrid scenario. What is this hybrid scenario? Hybrid scenario is nothing but you are collaborating the Greenfield implementation and the conversion. For example, think that only in the master data. What is the complications here? The complication here is the data, the master data. Except master data, there is no issue with the configuration. The enterprise structure is same. There is no change in enterprise structure. The master data, the material master configuration is same. Okay, the business partner configuration is different. Let me list it down here. When it comes for so enterprise structure will be same. There is no change. Material master, there is no change. Okay, then in the configuration of the P2P cycle, you don't have any change. Then in the inventory management, you don't have any change. So what is the changes you have? The business partner configuration, you have changes. The PIR, you have the changes. In the source list, you have the changes. Okay, so where all you have the changes, there you will work on the Greenfield. Wherever there is no changes, you will just work on conversion. So enterprise structure, material master, P2P cycle, inventory management, you will just create a PR and directly transfer the data from ECC to S4. What all the changes we have, changes in business partner, changes in PIR, source list, this part we are not going to transfer it from ECC to S4 HANA. We are just creating it newly. So here you are working on Greenfield as well as the conversion. So this is called as a hybrid configuration, hybrid implementation, where you are using Greenfield as well as conversion. So in most of the business, they don't use this hybrid. One, they will go with the Greenfield or they will go with the conversion. Okay, Greenfield is nothing but complete standard. Conversion is complete non-standard. Okay, now we covered Greenfield implementation. We covered conversion. We compared Greenfield with conversion. We discussed what is hybrid. Okay, we discussed three types of project types. Okay, we have still 3 more or 4 more left. Before that, let me take some questions. If you have any questions regarding this types of implementation, let me take the questions first from chat.
Hi, Venkatesh, Naved here.
Yeah.
So, as you said, when business has any legacy ERP, so while implementing the SAP in that environment, we take a reference of that legacy ERP. So when you say reference, then what exactly you mean?
Reference is nothing but, now for example, you have a business. So you want to understand the business. So you will visit the business place and you will check what are the different types of plants he has, what all different types of business he's doing, all those things. So instead of doing that, why can't I take the reference of the old system? So he will already been defined that in the old system. So he's already saying that he has a service plant, he has a manufacturing plant, he has so many storage locations in the old system. So why can't I take that as a reference and create in a S4 system? Instead of I visiting the place, I understand the place, right? So that is what I take reference from legacy system.
So in case if there is any no legacy system, the company is going to there is a new company who wants to completely install a new.
Then you will not have any reference. You need to visit the business. You need to check what all he has, what all he is planning to start. Then based on that will be your reference then.
So do we have any standard documentations for that ready? Like, because every time I think SAP implementation team might be having some standard way of communicating with the business to get this data now.
Standard way communicating is not as there is no standard template anything for SAP. Each and every business will work in each and every method. So if you are visiting an Indian business, so their working culture is completely different. And if you visit some US, the working culture will be completely different. So there is no standard template to get the information. So you have some standard terminologies. For example, in enterprise structure, you have company code, plant, storage location, purchase org. You are going to give only these 4 as an option to the business. So if they want to have any of their branches, then they need to have under this. So that is a standard what you're giving them.
Okay.
Sir, what will be the if we want all the reports from the previous enterprise structure, while from the oracles, it is possible?
Report from enterprise structure.
Yes. Means if we are using the Oracle and we have to switch to the SAP and we want all our previous data, means the reports, the inventory report, all the transactions.
That you are going to create from scratch in the S4HANA system. As I said, we are going to just create everything newly. If you are converting from Oracle to S4HANA system, then you are directly creating everything newly. So if you want to add inventory, then you can directly transfer the data from your Oracle system to the S4 system. But There also you need to create some new data to get that created in S4 HANA.
Okay, and if we want the sales data, means how much sales we have
Yeah, that
done in the
everything,
previous 10 years.
that everything will be converted from your old system to the new system. Everything will get copied.
Okay.
As the data does not match, we need to work on the data first. We need to get the data through Excel and work on the Excel, and then convert that Excel into SAP S4 HANA format and then upload it.
Okay.
Hi, sir. Sir, my question is, if company A, for example, is giving a business solutions and it wants to divide itself, and what will be the roles and responsibility to this level, like level 2 format? Will there be a greenfield implementation or conversion? What it will be for those business partners which are already collaborated with that A company?
You mean to say that the company is going to divide into two parts?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For example, if we take entity data, is giving business solutions, and also it is having its own like business partners from which they are getting these all the requests. So if it is going to divide in two, then what will be the roles?
The role will be the greenfield implementation. They need to do the greenfield implementation
For the sister company, like.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, sir.
So what will be the means? I'm unable to understand that suit on HANA and from S4 HANA means how it's
Suit on HANA is just replacing the database in ECC. In ECC, you will be using the third-party database. Just to replace the database, to remove the third-party database and use your own database, that is called as a suit on HANA.
So the means if database will be changing, then the basis person will be on the work or we have also work on this while
only the basis will work there.
Okay. And so second thing that if the system has means same structure, like you have said that last enterprises structure and map, so we directly transfer the data through the transport request.
Yes.
Okay, but sir, the database is different, so we can do it. Means I'm just.
Yeah, there are some. You will take a copy of that. So there is a different process to transfer the data from ECC to S4. So what they do is they create a copy of the system. They don't mess with the ECC system which is already there. They are going to copy a system, and then they are going to collaborate that system with the S4 system what we are using. Then we are going to use the TRs.
Okay, and which is not matching, that we have to take a dump in Excel and match accordingly to the HANA field.
Yes. So we're using some tool called WATS SQL to map.
Okay. So in first one, we also don't play a role, I think.
Yeah, in first thing, what we play a role is the basis will take a copy of that. And what is our role is, whatever they take a copy, we need to first analyze the difference. What is there any difference between the data which is copied from the ECC to S4? So then only if everything is matching, for example, if there's a custom field, you have a custom field. Custom field is created in ECC system, and you are not creating that custom field in S4 HANA, and you are just transferring this data from ECC to S4 HANA, then that will not suit. So you need to check, analyze the data if there is any custom field created. If the custom field is created, then you should also create a custom field in S4 HANA, and then you need to suggest basis team to move the data from the copied version to the S4 system version. So that check we need to do, the pre-checks we need to do as a consultant.
Answer in while he's going to the step S4 HANA in the on this VM is what we first do after the suit on HANA and S4 HANA.
After suit on HANA and S4 HANA, what is the role of a consultant?
Yes, sir, S4 HANA. On S4 HANA.
In S4 HANA, as soon as they convert from ECC to S4 HANA, We provide the 6 months of hypercare. Normally 3 months to 6 months of hypercare will be provided by consultant. And if they are still not confident, they may give the support project to us so that we will be helping them to resolve the issues. So consultant will be working with the business to resolve the issues, whatever they face in the front end.
And sir, as in this, the searches changes means in now the database searching on a column basis. So while mass uploading, is there any change in format?
Yeah, there is a change in format. In ECC, you don't have any format to upload the data. You just have a tool called LSMW, where you can upload the data in a mass. But coming to S4HANA, they invented a new tool called LTMC, where there is a standard template. So you need to prepare the standard template and upload it in S4HANA. So there is a difference which came into picture in the mass upload.
So MM17 is also valid right now? Or
MM17 is also valid in S4HANA, but in most of the cases we use mass. Instead of MM17, we use MASS in S4HANA, where we can change the mass data. Or 10 or 20 materials you want to directly change a base unit of measure in a single go, then I'll be using the mass transaction. That is MM17 in ECC, but MM17 is also available in S4HANA. Instead of MM17, we use mass in S4HANA.
Okay, thank you.
Venkatesh,
Venkatesh.
extraction. Sorry.
Yeah, please carry on. I'll ask later.
Venkatesh, extraction of the data from the database and uploading into the database of S4HANA, it is the role of MM consultant as well?
Yes.
And what is the tool used to extract the data from the databases?
Extract the data is not the job of consultant. Extract the data is done by the business itself because they are using the legacy system. And uploading the data or mass uploading the data is a part of a consultant. So the tool what we use is LTMC in S4HANA and PAPI in S4HANA, LSMW in ECC.
Okay, thank you.
This is in S4HANA.
Got it.
Hi, Venkatesh, Akanksha here.
Yeah.
So as you said that consultant will do the uploading and business will do the extraction. So
Yes.
suppose I am at a client side, like I am working from a client side and some company supporting us for our SAP system. So apart from this, what other activities like I am responsible for if like any this S4HANA conversion is going on?
If you are working from the client side,
Mm-hmm.
if you are working from the client side, then you are the person who is going to check the solution which is provided by the consultant. For example,
Okay.
you will define what is the as-is process, what is happening in the business right now, and you're asking the consultant to provide an alternate solution, or is there any solution in the S4HANA? So he is
Okay,
going to
if
provide some solution. So you
okay, if
are,
any customized process is there, then for that they will provide solution in S4HANA that we need to validate.
yes, that you need to validate from the business side. If
Mhm.
that's
Okay.
suitable for the business or not, or that is exactly the as is, or is there any alternate? If they provide the alternate, how it is going to work? Is it working as how we are working right now? That all validation will be done by the consultant who is working in the client side, from the client side.
Okay.
Hi, Venkatesh, sir. So my question is, suppose now every company, they are now looking for customized, nothing in standard they are doing work. So those customization, everything can be done after we do the FS and all like that.
Yes. So what happens, for example, now if you want to do a greenfield implementation also, in your greenfield implementation, 60% can be standard, 40% can be custom. But in most of the scenarios, when we are planning to go for greenfield, they will try to map at least 80% of standard. remaining 20% or 30% can be custom. Whenever I say custom, here you will be doing the RISE. This is the complete custom what you're going to create. So RISE is nothing but, W is nothing but workflow, reports, interface, conversion, enhancement, and forms. Now, why they are going for custom? Think that whenever I say workflow, whenever a PO is created, an automatic email should get triggered to a concerned person. That is not possible in SAP, that is not standard in SAP. So we are going to create a custom. For that, you are going to write an FS document, all those things. So you have report. We have only standard reports, but if business has an additional requirement in the reports, then we are going to build an FS for report. Whenever you want to link your system with the vendor system, or you want to link your system with third-party system, then you will be doing interface. Whenever you want to convert the data from ECC to S4, then you will do conversion. So these are the non-standard. So wherever you see the workflow, reports, interface, conversion, enhancement, forms, these all are custom. None of the Greenfield implementation will go with 100% of standard. At least 30% will be the custom. 70% will be standard, 30% will be custom. Because why they do I want to go for standard is the price of standard is less. It is less. The price of custom is more. Okay, whenever they are going for proposal or whenever they're going for bidding, they are going to divide the process into this 60% of standard and 40% of custom. In this custom also, they are going to divide the custom into 3 sections, which is simple, intermediate, and complex. So based on this complexity, they are going to define the price. For one RISE or one custom development, if it is complex, they are going to charge nearly 45,000 Indian currency. If it is intermediate, then they are going to charge 35,000. If it is simple, they are going to charge 25,000. So the standard price is different. What they have quoted is different. Upon that, they will have this custom. So whatever custom you require, you need to pay additional to the business. So that is the standard and custom division we need to go for Greenfield. In conversion, when it comes for conversion, here only 40% will be standard, 60% will be custom. So this is budget constraint. So max to max, most of the business will go for Greenfield. I have seen some business, if they're using the ECC system, they will not convert ECC to S4HANA. They are requested, they want to completely close the ECC system and they want to start a Greenfield implementation. Because the cost will go high whenever you start doing the conversion. The custom rate will get increased. That is the reason they want to close the ECC completely and then start S4HANA. Some business are ready to do the conversion. Some business are thinking regarding the budget and then they are going to create an S4HANA system newly. Okay. Hybrid implementation. Hybrid implementation is nothing but you are going to work on Greenfield as well as conversion. Based on the scenario, based on the data you get from the business, based on that you are going to work on Greenfield as well as the conversion, where you work both the types of implementation, then that is called as a hybrid implementation. For example, now till now you are working from home. Now they have started a hybrid, calling that 2 days from office and 3 days from home. So you're doing both. So that is nothing but hybrid. So wherever you use Greenfield as well as conversion, both, that is called hybrid. What changes we will do in table after converting into Excel? So, for example, this is a big question. So the data, think that you get a data from this. Let me take some small parts here. So vendor ID, description, then you will have the address, then you will have the bank details. But this is an ECC data. When it comes for S/4HANA data, you have additional columns getting created. So what are the additional columns? First, your BP number, then your vendor number, then the description, address, bank details. Okay, here you will have some additional details like BP role, BP grouping. Okay, these all are additional. So whenever you get this data, keeping this data as a reference, you are going to create this data. So this, it will come directly. Then what about this data, this data, this data? So in some business, they do it manually if the data is less. In some business, they use a concept called bots. Bots is a tool where you will be using this tool. This is a programming tool. So this is used to link the tables. Link the tables. For example, here you will say a mapping saying that you will have a vendor ID here, and you will have a vendor account group here. That is very important. Vendor account group. Here also you will have a vendor account group. So here you will say that all my raw material vendors should go for raw material vendor account group in ECC. Here also logic remains the same. But here you have vendor account group and a vendor. First you will map these both. After mapping these both, you will build a logic saying that my raw material vendors should have raw material BP grouping. So whatever mapping you are doing it here, the same mapping you are going to do it here also. BP grouping. So that linkage will be done by the bots. So this you will understand when I start the cutover activity. I'll explain there. Any more questions?
Venkatesh, can you enlarge your pointer, because sometimes when you say the things, we don't relate it.
My pointer, okay, fine. I think pointer. Okay, let me find where the option is. Any more questions?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, Vishal.
Yes, sir. While in conversion project, if ECC have an enterprise structure, while converting to SAP S/4HANA, if business need a change in enterprise structure, I mean in storage location somewhere, how we need to do that? Because we're copying the enterprise structure right there.
Yeah, if they need any changes in the enterprise structure which you thought of copying, then you are not copying it. You are going to create it from scratch itself.
But only we need to change any one of the storage locations. In such scenario, again we need to
In that
create.
scenario, you are going to discuss with business. You are going to convince the business saying that you are going to copy the data from ECC to S/4HANA, and manually you are ready to change the data in S/4HANA. If business is okay with that, then you will copy the data. Then you are going to access S/4HANA. Then you are going to the node and going to change manually.
Okay.
Because you should not touch any data in the legacy, or you don't want to change, you should not change any data in the legacy. Because till S/4HANA gets implemented, till S/4HANA go live, the business will be still using the ECC version. So that should not get hampered the business. So we will not be doing any changes in the ECC system. If you want, you can take a copy of the ECC system and create your dummy system. And using that dummy system, you can play anything. So that part, if you require dummy system, that also can be created, but the basis team will charge, the SAP will charge something to create a dummy system. So if business is ready to pay, then you can create the dummy system.
Okay, thank you.
Venkatesh, is there any role between greenfield and conversion regarding the server, some production quality
No,
server there?
it is same. It is same. Only the working style will be different.
Can I explain once again the hybrid system?
Hybrid system is nothing but you will be working greenfield as well as conversion both in a single system. So you think that all the master data in the system is not of you, no use. So what you do for only for master data, you do greenfield. So you create everything from newly. So you feel that the configuration, what is done in ECC is sufficient. So I don't want to create it again. I just copy it. So only for that part, you will take conversion. For master data, you will use greenfield. That is how hybrid works. So based on the scenario, based on the system, you are going to decide for which topic, which type of project you are going to, which type of implementation you are going to do.
Is that any example for that?
Yeah, I took an example itself, right? For master data, if you think master data is not clear, whenever I say that I'm converting data from ECC to S4HANA, my master data is not good. I want BP to be created. So my master data is no use. So what I do, I create the master data newly using a greenfield implementation. And when I say ECC system, in ECC system, my enterprise structure, my material master, my PIR, my source list, everything is not going to change in the as is to 2D. When I'm creating S4, all these are not going to change. Then I'll directly copy it. When I copy it, then the conversion will come into picture. Whenever I create new master data, then greenfield will come into picture.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Fine, if there are no questions, then let me move forward and explain the other types also. So we are done with greenfield, conversion, hybrid. So let me take POC. The POC is nothing but proof of concept. Okay, proof of concept. What is this proof of concept? So proof of concept is nothing but, now for example, take an example that your client or business wants to implement SAP in their system. Then they are not confident. They are not confident that SAP will work or SAP will get suit to their business. For example, take a garments. If you implement SAP in garments, what is the use? What is the impact? That you need to first think. Then you need to present to the business saying that this is the impact, what is going to happen if you implement SAP. Your turnover will get increased. Your working speed will get increased. You will have all the data in a single system. So all those things you need to explain to the business. Business does not know what is SAP. Then if business is still not confident, then you are going to show a proof. So what is that proof? So think that they are using Microsoft Dynamics, and to create a material, what is the time they take? So the same you are going to replicate in S4HANA. So you are going to take a demo system. You are going to configure the material master, and you are going to create the material. And you are going to show the business how much time does it take to create a material in S4HANA, and how much time does it take in Microsoft Dynamics. So what is the changes, and what is the advantages of material master in S4HANA? What are the additional information you can have in SAP? So all those things you need to create a document. So that document needs to be presented to the client, and a demo needs to be provided to the client. Based on that, they will see the proof. So you're taking a concept of creating a material master in the S/4HANA, and the same is replicated in the system, and you're showing to the business. If business is happy with that proof of concept, what you have done, they will get more clarity, better understanding on SAP, and they will think what is the next step they want to do in the SAP. So to make business comfortable, you are going to do a proof of concept. And for that, the client will pay you something. Not a huge amount, that will be a small amount. To just create a master data, what is the amount you spend? For example, if I give a POC, proof of concept for you guys, you need to work on just material master, create the material master, okay, and then showcase me what is a material master, how it is working. But if I ask you a proof of concept to create the material master, you cannot directly go and create a material type, and you cannot directly go and create a material for me. So to create that material type, you need the enterprise structure to be built. So first you need to build the enterprise structure, and based on that, you need to create the material master. So you need to bid now. So to do that, what is the quote you are giving to me? So I'll compare the quote. If material master is huge or the business partner is less, so I'll ask a quote for 2 or 3 processes. I'll not ask a quote from different businesses or different implementation partner. I'll ask a quote from only one implementation partner, but I'll be asking different quotes for different process. For material master, for business partner, for PIR, I'll take 3 quotes and I'll compare which is suitable for my business, and if I see which it will be useful for me. So I'm going to see that, and I'm going to decide if I'm going to start implementation project or not. Okay, that is the proof of concept. As I said, it is small paid project. You will get paid for that. Okay, then you have the pilot project. So what is this pilot project? So pilot project is nothing but, in pilot project, you are going to really work on a configuration. Here also it will be a smaller scope. Here also you're going to create a business partner, material master, anything. Okay, it is same as the proof of concept. We are going to show the demo to the business. The only difference between POC and the pilot system is, in POC, whatever you create, that is just for a demo purpose. When it comes for a pilot project, you are not creating a demo project. You are going to create the data for the real-time business scenario. And that data, whatever you create, will go live. So why this pilot project will come into picture? So let me explain that. So pilot project, POC, let me explain POC. POC is nothing but proof of concept. This is a small project just to give the demo to the business. Okay, then you have the pilot project. When I say pilot project, this is also a small project. This is not a demo. This is real-time, real business scenario. Whatever you create in a pilot project will go live. That will be used in the production system. Okay, why this pilot project will come into picture? So pilot project will come into picture. Now business is already using SAP S/4HANA. Okay, they are already using S/4HANA, and they are comfortable. They are using the S/4HANA from past 3 years, and they don't have any consultant with them. Whatever error they get, they are ready to resolve them on their own. So they don't want to have a support team. Okay, they are not having a single consultant internally or externally. Now think that they are working from 3 years. Now suddenly they wanted to create a new business partner grouping, a vendor account group, and they want to map these both because they are starting with a new types of materials, or they are going to start with an import vendors. Then they want to create a new vendor account group, VP grouping, and differentiate the vendors. In that case, as they don't have the consultants, what they do, they consider this as a small project, and they will give this project to some of the consultant outside as a third party. So he will come to the client location. He's going to access the system. He's going to create the VP grouping. He's going to create the vendor account group. Okay. As this request is coming from the business side, and they are going to use this for the future, that is called as a real business scenario. And whatever you're going to create, that is going to be used in the production system. Whatever you're going to create, that is going to go live. So project is small, you will get paid, you will get paid. Here also you will get paid. But this is just a demo. This is a real time. That is the difference between POC and the pilot project. Okay. Then we have an important type of project called the rollout. So what is rollout? So rollout is nothing but you are not going to directly implement the SAP in all the plants in a single time. So what happens? So let me explain rollout. So rollout project. So what is rollout project? Think that you have a company. This is your company. Under your company, you have multiple plants. You have multiple plants. And you are planning to implement SAP. You will go for Greenfield implementation only. So when you go for Greenfield implementation, this is your plant 1, plant 2, plant 3, plant 4, plant 5, plant 6, and plant 7. So the configuration steps, the configuration topics, everything will remain the same. But the difference between rollout is you are going to implement the SAP only in one plant. You are going to implement SAP in only one plant. So here you have 6 up to 7 plants. So here you are going to implement only one plant. So only one plant will get implemented for SAP, and they will go live for SAP, and they will start using SAP. Other plants will not use SAP. As soon as this is done, so SAP is implemented in one plant, and this plant 1 has been go live, and they are working on SAP. They are working on SAP, and they are comfortable using the SAP. So only this plant functionality will work in SAP. Everything will work in Microsoft Dynamics. So when the situation is happening, what they do, we have interim state. So whenever you want to communicate something from this plant to this plant, you will not be able to do it because this plant is using SAP, this plant is using Microsoft Dynamics. So you will not be able to communicate the data from SAP to Microsoft Dynamics. In that case, you need to create an interface, then it is a huge process. So what we do, we create all these plants as vendor and customer and maintain it here. So that plants will act as a vendor and customer and work. First, you are going to create SAP in this plant. Everything is working fine. The same configuration is transferred to this plant using the TR. So you're doing configuration only once, and remaining everything you are going to transfer using the TR. Then you look at transfer to this plant also will start using SAP. Then you will transfer to this plant also you will use SAP. So implementing the SAP plant by plant, that is called as a rollout. So the name itself tells you are rolling the configuration from this plant to the other plant. Okay. So that is nothing but a rollout project. So when we say Greenfield, you are going to completely implement the SAP in all the plants. When we say conversion, you are going to convert the project from ECC to S4HANA. When we say a rollout project, you are going to just create the SAP in one plant first, and then you are rolling the configuration from one plant to the other plant. And you can also fix that. For example, these 3 plants can use SAP. Remaining plants, I don't want to use SAP. That is also possible in rollout. That is one of the biggest advantage. You can decide which plant should use SAP and which should not. So these all are material based. This is service based. So I don't want service based plant to use SAP. I want only material based plant to use SAP. So I'll roll the configuration only for the plants which I want to use. I'll not roll the plants which I don't want to use SAP. So that is the biggest advantage of the rollout. Okay, that is a rollout project. Then we have the support project. Support project is nothing but support project will come into picture whenever the S4HANA system is already implemented. And hypercare is already done. So the consultants will be hired for support project to support the business whenever they get an issue. For example, the end user is working on SAP. He will face some issue. So now the issues, whatever you're posting in the group, so account assignment mandatory, and you can say that you're not able to create the plant, you're not able to activate the material ledger. All those things are the issues. Whatever screenshots you see in the group are called as an issues. So all the issues cannot be resolved by the end users. So these issues will be created as a ticket called a support ticket. And to work on this issue or to work on this ticket, you need a consultant. And that consultant will be working on a support project. So this is a support project. So whenever an end user is facing an issue, he will raise a ticket. To work on that ticket, you need a consultant. So those consultants are working on a support project. Okay, not only for the issues. Now business has been go live. Now they are working into SAP. Whenever they work into SAP, they feel that there is some gap or there is some manual work which can be automated. So again, for example, they need some report to build. So consultant will build the report. So in some cases, they want to change the configuration. That will be done by the consultant. So whatever changes or whatever help they require after they go live, that help will be provided by the consultant. That type of help and that type of project is called as a support project. Okay. So now we discussed all the types of project. First is Greenfield, conversion, POC, hybrid, pilot, rollout, support. 7 types of project. Okay, let me list it down here. So first thing is Greenfield. implementation, conversion project. Then we saw the rollout. These three are very important. And support. These four are very important. Support project. Whenever you are getting hired for the consultant role, first thing you need to ask the HR or the manager is on what type of project I'm going to work on. I'm going to work on the greenfield, conversion, or the support. In most of the cases, rollout is absoluted. Most of the business is not using the rollout. Okay, now in the business or in the market, they are hiring only for the greenfield implementation, conversion project, or the support project. Okay. Then we saw what is POC, the proof of concept, which is not used much. Then we saw pilot. This is also not under scope. And we saw hybrid. So these are the types of project. The main thing are greenfield, conversion, and the support project. You need to understand what is the rollout also. So these four will be the main types of project. These can be optional types of project. Okay. Then we have the product version here. What are the upgrades what SAP has done? For example, previously you had only on-premises. Under on-premises, you have ECC and S4 both. ECC and S4 both. In ECC, you had R by 1, R3, R2. You would be, the end users would have seen this EHP5, EHP6, EHP7. These are the versions of ECC. This was the first version, R1, R2, and R3. Real-time 1, real-time 2, real-time 3. So as soon as SAP brought his own database, they created a S4 HANA. Under S4 HANA also, you have the versions called 15, 11, 16, 10, 1709, 1809, 1909. When you are giving an interview, you may get a question that in which version of S4 HANA did you work? So in most of the cases, that depends on what is the experience you're putting, what is the start date and end date. So if you're putting a start date as 2019, from 2019, you worked on SAP field, mention that you have worked on 1809, because this version coding has some information. So first 2 digit are the year, second 2 digit are the month. So first version of S4 HANA got implemented in 2015 in November. Second version got implemented in 2016 October, 2017 September. Now currently we are using 2021 version. Mostly next month they are going to plan to release a 2022 version, which SAP has officially announced. So mostly next month in October 15, before October 15th, 2022 version of S4 HANA will get released. There are no much changes here. The main change came into picture in 1909, where they started using a Fury application, which is an application which looks similar as an Amazon. So that is a huge change what they brought in 1909. So if you just search in Google, you will find what are the differences between these versions. So you can note down 1 or 2 differences, that is sufficient. Okay. Then as in 2019, we had COVID. And because of that, they closed this on premises and they started the cloud. The cloud is nothing but working or implementing the SAP from any place from the cloud. You can connect to the VPN of the client VPN and work on the VPN, and you will be able to access the SAP from home itself. We had this cloud in prior also, but that was not used for all the business clients. But after 2019 situation, SAP has converted on-premises completely to the cloud. Now, cloud has become more and on-premise has become less. Because of this cloud, even the costing became reduced, because if the client is in some other country and the consultants are in other country, they need to travel to the or reallocate to the client location and work. And the cost of the employee will completely be paid by the business or the company which they are working that depends on business to business, that became reduced. As they are working from cloud, they can work from their office also. Okay, those are the product version. In ECC, you have 3 versions, R1, R2, R3. Those are also called as EHP4, EHP5, EHP6, EHP7. And S4 HANA, you have the versions of 1511, 1610, 1709, 1809, all those things. And you have the cloud version. So these are the types of project which we see in SAP. Okay. So today we try to cover the different types of projects which are in SAP. So tomorrow we will see a real-time business scenario. I'll take one industry as an example, for example, construction or FMCG, anything. And I'll explain how the business is working prior and how they want to convert the business into an S4 system and what are the requirements, all those things. Okay. Let me take the Q&A and close the session for today. If you have any questions, you can ask. Post that, I'll close the session. Yes. Any questions?
Venkatesh, Naved here.
Yeah.
See, if we go by the definition of piloting, it means doing something in a smaller proportion, and when it works fine, we do it in a larger proportion, right? So in this way, rollout project and piloting can be defined as the same thing, or is still be differ from each other?
It will still be a different, because in pilot you are working on a specific topic, and pilot will come into picture after the go live.
Okay.
And rollout is going to be a complete process from end to end process, and you're working it before the go live.
Okay. And second thing, where can we see this product versions in SAP window?
Yeah, you can just Google it, or you can see in, I'll share the link possible. Let me check and share the link now.
Can't we see the GUI?
In GUI, you can see the version, but currently we are using a demo system. In a business system, we can see.
Okay.
But in our system, we cannot see. But currently we are using 2021 version.
Where can we see in the business system? Because I'm using SAP in my current organization. In web UI only, or into?
In the GUI only you can see it. Let me log in 1 second.
So tomorrow, what times of visits? Same.
Yeah, level 2 will be at morning 7 to 9.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, rollout project can be happen at a client level also, means if there is a minor change like a currency change only, and there's a 2 client.
Sorry, rollout can be?
At a client level means two different.
Rollout cannot be at the client level or the company code level. Rollout always will be at the
plant level.
Plant level.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, who will be maintaining this TR's background? Like it will be the basis team or basis?
Here in the system status, you will be able to see the version. Here you can see, here you will have an option of system status. So as it is a demo system, we are not having it. So here we'll have an option here.
Okay, I will check into my system.
So you can go to the system, click on the status, and here you will be able to see it. Here you will be able to see the installation. I think product version. Yeah, if you have it here, let me search if I can. Here it is. S4 Core OP. This is the version what we're using now.
But that coding which we saw like where the month and year was mentioned, That
No, that you will not be able to see.
What is this next tab, sir? Installed product versions. There we can see this.
This is the version what you're using right now.
release 2021.
Yeah. Now they are planning to release 2022. So it will get released by mostly next month. It is an official notice. So still we will be using 2021 for this batch because we are under 2021. When 2022 gets released, that should go for testing. Then if the testing get passed, then we can introduce that.
Venkatesh, are we going to see the support project in detail? Like what all errors usually?
Yes, we'll be seeing it in detail. So I'll be taking a session for support project.
Thank you.
In classic theme, it's not working. I can't see execute button on when I'm switching out a classic theme.
Which theme are you using?
Right now I'm in a quick theme, but I actually mostly used to a classic, so I tried, but I'm unable to see the execution button at a SPRO level.
One second. Because classic theme is a little bit different. This is how you look, right?
Yes.
This is the classic theme.
Yes.
So execute. What you are trying to execute?
So enterprise structures I tried and also material plan, but there is only a documentation.
Okay, there is an issue with the theme. There is an icon here. It is hidden. If you try to click on this, it will get expanded. It is hidden.
Okay.
Try to use signature theme. It is
yes. Signature.
Yeah, signature. Use SAP signature theme. Yeah, any more questions?
Venkatesh, in support project, our role is just supporting to end user only, nothing other than this.
Yeah, supporting end user, the word is more complicated. So what type of support you are giving to the end user, that is very important. So what type of issue is going to face, you are going to analyze that issue, you're going to check the complete system configuration. Then if there is any issue with the system, then you are going to resolve that in the configuration side. Then you're going to do the testing. Then you are going to move that to the end user for his testing. So just supporting is not just supporting is nothing, but you are not just telling him, you need to resolve that issue in the background.
Okay.
So you will, for example, you will post an issue saying that this is the error I get in the SAP when I create material, this is the error when I get creating a BP. So I'm finding what is the root cause and I'm resolving the error, right? The same way the support consultant will work.
Okay.
Theme is used mostly, which is friendly screen. For me, it is in SAP signature, where SAP signature is easier for me because I used to work on ECC. So it looks similar to ECC. So I'm adapted to that now. If I try to use some blue crystal theme, it is a little bit difficult to me. The options are completely different. So I'll be using signature theme. That depends on person to person.
Venkatesh, one another thing regarding the SAP, I am facing issue in the posting of goods receipt. So can I check one?
What is the error you're getting?
Error reading material ledger header record.
Then your material ledger is not activated. Or the material, what you're using for that material, the material ledger is not activated. What is the material you're using?
Yes, I will. Can I post this in chat? Or
Yeah, you can post in chat, no issues. I already said so many times not to change the material length once it is created. Let it be 18 digit, please. Everyone are facing the same issue. They cannot go and change the material length whenever they want to open the material, right? So as of now, keep the material length as 18 digit. And I don't want to see any template created here.
Venkatesh, when you created the material, that type serial number template are not there, dash test is not there. So directly one empty section is there. So by default, they created a material like this.
So in the accounting view, what is your plant?
Plant.
Make it fast, guys. I have another session booked.
Yes. Sorry. TP1.
Sorry?
TP1.
EP1 does not exist.
TP1.
Can you put it in the chat box?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
See here, the material ledger is not activated here. You would have activated the material ledger after you creating this material. Now, if you try to create a material, it will get activated. But once the material is created without the material ledger activation, you will get the error. You will not be able to purchase.
Where is this option? You are saying material ledger is not active.
Sorry?
No. Where in the screen?
In the material master accounting one view, it is not activated. Now, if I try to create a new material, it will get activated. But this material is no of use. For example, I'll just create some basic data and the accounting data. Here, now it is activated. Okay, so this material was created before you activate the material ledger. That is the reason that was not activated. The material what you provided in the chat box cannot be used for purchase or sale.
Okay, but on that material, we created the purchase order.
Yeah, you can create the purchase order, but you cannot do the goods receipt. You cannot do the sales. Fine, guys. Then tomorrow we will try to see the real-time project. One real-time project. Okay, we'll discuss how real-time project works and how we are going to convert that into SAP. Okay. Fine, then we'll wrap up here. Thanks. Thank you.